Hi, I'm Iannielli of T-Girl Angel, and I have a special treat. I'm going to read some of my spoken word poetry. The first one I'm going to recite is Honeybee. 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 The workings of nature is truly remarkable and such a blessing. We see the beauty in many things, and sadly, we may take it all for granted, not realizing the true importance until it's taken away from us. There is a certain mystery about them. They are responsible for pollinating our crops, plants, flowers, and the like. They work in coordination with the queen, and they are social and necessary in our lives and in helping the growth of the vegetation we have come to know and need in our lives. There is a major concern with these wonderful workers who help in pollinating so we can enjoy strawberries, blueberries, cherries, plums, peaches, tomatoes, and so much more. They are a gift from the heavens above, but there truly is a major concern. Their plight hangs in the balance as they are dying off in droves with no explanation. The term used for their mysterious disappearance is called colony collapse syndrome, and it is very alarming because without the honeybees, we will certainly be affected in many ways with our food supply. The honeybees also bless us with their miraculous gift of honey, which is farmed and processed for us through trained workers who work in collecting their special concoction, which truly warms the tummy and feels so good on the tongue. We need to really search for ways to help the honeybees, as their lives are truly precious and necessary in all our lives. Oh, what would we do without our honeybee, Emily Iannielli of T-Girl Angel? And that's my writing, Honeybee. And now, my second writing, I title Butterfly. And this is my writing for Butterfly. Butterfly. So, my next reading, Butterfly. The joy in my heart is real now, as I have always dreamed it to be. It was not always that way. There was a time my heart was longing for something that seemed out of reach. I didn't think it could ever be. It was constant. Those feelings that never seemed to go away. I was plagued with them day and night. Sometimes I questioned my very existence. How could I go forward knowing my pain, my desperation, my frustrations, my sadness? I never felt true to who I truly was. I always sought comfort in my mind's image, which was my wish, my hope, my dream. Would it ever be possible? I always wondered, never truly knowing what would become of my life. I was living in quiet desperation, crying, praying, fantasizing about a life where I felt my true self. How I wished for this to be possible. How I dreamed it so much each and every day. Life was a constant reminder of my uncertainty, my uneasiness, my fear, my lack of passion, my struggling in my never-ending quest to be me. I didn't know how to make it better. I was so lost emotionally, so detached, so hurt, so sad. I could not find my way. I felt lost, without hope, without the strength to fight. I felt incomplete. I felt betrayed. I felt all alone. I felt unsure of who I truly was. I knew what was in my heart. I also knew my painful reality. I thought long and hard about my life's dilemma. How could my life be the way I knew it should? How could I show my true colors? How could I let the world know what was within my heart? What was the authentic me? I really didn't know how to come to terms with my situation. I felt like I was always disconnected, my heart and soul singed in sorrow and pain, my dream seemingly out of reach, my prayers seemingly unanswered, my struggle ongoing, my life a never-ending nightmare. I was not how I truly saw myself in my mind. My mind's image and my reality were far different than one day when I least expected it. My life seemed to take a dramatic turn as I had a monumental decision ahead of me to make. It would impact my life in a major way. All that I was seemingly a memory. I took that fateful step. I felt in my heart that was the right thing to do. I went to bed knowing what my life was like. Then I awoke and realized something truly very special. I went from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Emily, Iannielli of T-Girl Angel, and this is my writing of Butterfly. And now my third reading, I titled it Cried in His Arms. Cried in His Arms. And now my third reading, Cried in His Arms. I lived all my life trying to find opportunities where I could work towards achieving what I always intended to, with hopes that I could shine each time. I was a perfectionist without a clue of what I was doing. I didn't know what I truly wanted in my life. I had an idea based upon things impressed upon me in my youth. To be honest with you all, I was scared and felt all alone, despite the fact I came from a loving home. I was trying to fit an image of what I thought I should be, denying myself my true feelings. This made me question my life many times, where I felt all ranges of emotions. I was always trying to make the grade, to succeed in all that I attempted. I was always afraid to fail, to fall short of the desired objective. I was programmed to be something that felt alien to me. I at times wanted to cash my chips in and bid a fond farewell, but despite all my internal pain, I knew I couldn't travel that road. I was always the quiet kid, the kid that people never had a problem with, because I never said a word. The truth of the matter was that I was really messed up, but put up a veneer to overshadow the true person I knew what was within me. I was always the sweet, quiet boy who hardly uttered a word. I was never seen for who I truly was. This caused me great psychological pain and sorrow within my heart, and I just couldn't figure out why everything was such an incredible challenge for me. I felt I had to drag myself out of my self-imposed isolation to make a feeble attempt at being the guy I was trying to portray in my everyday life, because that was what was my birthright, and I had to live up to the standard of whatever that meant, even though I was truly failing at it. I was a total zero with the girls. I couldn't even buy a date. I was the wallflower at the dance clubs, looking at the pretty girls, admiring them, but my brain was not thinking right, and I had to talk to myself to convince myself I was a guy when deep down inside I knew that was the furthest thing from the truth. I was sure I was seen as one, but in my heart I knew what I truly was. However, I couldn't tell anyone my secret. I had to pretend to be what was totally opposite. The guys didn't know what to make of me, and I was trying desperately to mimic them as best I could, when in my mind, heart, and soul, I wanted to slip into one of my dresses and look as pretty as I possibly could, crying, desperately knowing it would never be. And if it wasn't for my coach, I might not be here today, as he saved my life by recruiting me for his cross-country team. And when I asked him why, at his 75th birthday reunion, he replied, I looked very conflicted, and I just cried in his arms. Emily, Iannielli of T-Girl Angel. And that's my writing. Cried in his arms. And now my fourth writing. It's a sad one. It's called Paris Weeps, and we all know why. Paris weeps. Today is a sad day for the French people and the world. 13 November 2015. Their country is under attack. Mass shootings taking place all over the city. People dying in the streets. It looks like a war zone. Explosions happening all around the city of Paris. Hostages held at a concert venue being shot one by one in cold blood. Suicide bombings taking place at the soccer stadium. Sirens blaring all around the city. Police dispatched to the sites under attack. Many casualties reported. So much confusion going on. People dining at a restaurant gunned down. Why is this happening? Families worried, desperately awaiting news from their loved ones. Reporting is coming in all forms as a result of the internet. Social media outlets are being used as form of communication to get in touch with loved ones, to let them know what's going on. This is heartbreaking and very tragic. This is a city under siege. This is a city held a victim to terrorism. This is a city in shock. This is a bloodied city. This is a city of strength. This is a city of love. This is a city of beauty. This is a city that is in the hearts and minds of many and is being thought of in prayers. This is a city that will get through this tragedy, but it will take time as Paris weeps. Emily, Iannielli. of T-Girl Angel. Paris weeps. And now, my next entry, I title it Pray for Paris. Pray for Paris. Pray for Paris. What happened in Paris, France on 13 November 2015 is not an isolated incident. We've seen it before on 11th September 2001 in the United States, in New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania. We've seen it in Mumbai, India, on November 2008 for several days, and on 13 July 2011 with many casualties. I can go on and on with these acts of terrorism all over the world. This is truly very sad and tragic that we live in a world filled with violence, hatred, and destruction at the hands of evil people. We will always have to stand on guard, as there is no way we can truly eliminate terrorism as long as there is hate preached by factions of people who are extreme in their thinking. They have no idea what life is all about, as they are just interested in causing heartache and pain in their actions of violence, as they try to kill as many people as possible. There's no way we can allow this to continue. We must stand up and find a way to let our leaders know we will not stand for this insanity of allowing terrorists to kill people just going about their lives. We, as a country, must support our fellow friends in Paris. We, as a world, must let it be known that we will no longer stand for terrorism. We, as a society, must spread the word. We will no longer stand for this insanity. We must establish a call for action in ridding the world of terrorism. We must find our courage. We must reclaim our lives. We must fight back. We can no longer live in fear. The terrorists must be eliminated. Good must prevail over evil, always. We must trust in the Lord up above as we ask Him for guidance, as we look for peace, asking Him to help our friends as we pray for Paris. Emily Iannielli of T-Girl Angel. Pray for Paris. And now, my next writing, I title it The Lemonade Kid. Every now and then, you hear of a kid who just is very special. A kid who has a heart. A kid who truly cares. A kid that does something that is considered heartwarming and a blessing. There is a young boy who is just 8 years old, who truly is wonderful in every way in what he does. He is a perfect student in the classroom. He listens always to his mom and dad. He is very talented and wants to do something with his life one day. Every kid wants to do something when they get to an age where they can shine. Well, this boy of 8 years is already doing something valuable with his life. We all know that the world we live in is not perfect. There is a lot of pain and sadness. We see it in our lives. If you happen to be in New York City as a tourist, or you live in the city or work there, you will encounter a sight that is truly sad and pervasive. No one can truly know what brings someone to such desperation, but there are many people suffering in the city streets with nothing to claim of their own but the clothes on their back. We don't know their story. Some of us are compelled to do the right thing by giving them a little money to try to help them, but we can't help every homeless person we see. I even try my best to help, but I too struggle. This young boy has a lemonade stand that he runs in the city after school, before he does his homework, and on the weekends. He truly is so precious in every way imaginable, as he gives 100% of his profits to helping the homeless and seeing that they can get something to eat and have a warm place to stay with the monies he raises. He truly is an angel doing the work of God, this precious and special little boy who is and forever will be in all our hearts the Lemonade Kid, Emily Iannielli of T-Girl Angel, the Lemonade Kid. That story was inspired by a little experience I had in my Instagram, where he so happened to like one of my pictures, and then I went to explore his page and I saw all the wonderful work he is doing. He's purely an angel. And my final piece is called The Power of the Word. I have many pieces. I write constantly. I'm a spoken word artist. I have albums on iTunes, on Google Play. I have my music sites. I'm on Reverbnation. I'm on Numberonemusic. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and I'm solo artist T-Girl Angel. So I plan to do more recordings and writings and sharings. So this is my final piece, and I title it The Power of the Word. The Power of the Word. And now, my final reading. The Power of the Word. We live by some form of internal belief predicated on the thoughts and ideas of others that are taught to us. We don't always follow suit on everything we are exposed to in the classroom or Bible school, but we do become influenced by the teachings of others. In a way, it is necessary to learn from others because we don't truly know. We have to come to understand what it is we are here for, and then we must find the inner strength and determination to live our life according to what we believe in. We are all raised to be respectful. We are all raised to love one another. Life is a wonderment. It is a gift. It is very special. We know that. We may never truly learn what our purpose is, but it is important that we try our best to find out what it is we are supposed to do with our lives. I truly believe we must come to believe in a higher power and know we are never alone. We all will find ourselves at times feeling alone and sad, but we must realize that it is part of life to feel this way. We can't always be happy and laughing. Life doesn't work that way. That is why we must learn to accept things and come to know that life is always going to be a challenge, but it is a beautiful thing that we must treasure with our heart and soul. We must immerse ourselves in this belief and find our sense of hope. We should never lose sight of our faith. It will get us through difficult times. I am always reminded of a wonderful poem that resonates deeply with me when I feel at my lowest, and I'm sure most of you have seen it and read it like I have. The premise of the writing is from the viewpoint of someone who sees his or her life flash by and acknowledges the Lord being by his or her side at many moments of his or her life, evidenced by two sets of footprints. But at the darkest and most difficult times of his or her life, he or she questions why there is only one set of footprints. And every time I read the response from the Lord, I tear up and feel this overwhelming sense of emotion as the Lord replies, "The times you only saw one set of footprints was the times you struggled most, and those were the times I carried you." The writing is from the beautiful poem Footprints in the Sand, and the emotion it stirs up and tears that result in reading it truly is the result of the power of the word. Iannielli of T-Girl Angel. And that's my final writing for today. My final reciting, recording, reading of today. The power of the word. I thank you for watching and for being my fan. And I hope if you're not already subscribed, that you subscribe to my channel and learn more about me as T-Girl Angel. And my website is www.t-girlangel.com, all one word, www.t-girlangel.com. I love you all. This is Iannielli of T-Girl Angel, signing off.